It's time for the Orioles to open Camden Yards for the first time this year, and they are not off to a hot start with a 1-5 record to begin the season. They open Oriole Park for a 3-game series against the same team they lost to on opening day, the Boston Red Sox, who are 3-3. This time though, there are different pitchers taking the mound, as the Red Sox start Eduardo Rodriguez and our Orioles start Adam Plutko, who already has a loss and ERA of 13.5 entering Game 1 of this series. Can the Orioles start off on the right foot at home, or will the Red Sox spoil the opener for the Birds? Xander Bogaerts leads off for the Red Sox and he loops the 1-1 into right field. Anthony Santander flashes the leather and takes away a base hit in incredible fashion to get the crowd excited on the first out of the game. He takes a perfect route and travels 49 feet to make this happen, hopefully a sign of things to come. Next up is Alex Verdugo, and he wastes no time sending the first pitch into center field, and he's on board with a single and the first hit of the game for Boston. After a JD Martinez line out to second for the second out, Rafael Devers drills the 2-2 from Plutko way back to right field. It just stays in the ballpark as it bounces off the scoreboard. Devers gets to second for his 4th double of the season, and the Red Sox have 2 runners on in scoring position for Christian Vazquez. Vazquez flips this one into shallow center, just over the glove of Ruiz at second, and he brings both runners in and reaches with a single. That's all the Red Sox would get as Frankie Cordero grounds out to second and ends the Red Sox half of the first. They lead 2-0. Freddie Galvis leads off the Oriole half of the first, and he hits a hard grounder, but unfortunately, it's right at Bogaerts at short, so there's the first out of the inning. The O's have struggled offensively in the first 7 games of the season, but they do have 5 home runs, good for 13th in the AL to this point. Cedric Mullins brings his .500 average into the home opener, but not a good start for him here as he can't hold back on the pitch that's way outside for a strikeout and the second out of the inning. Ryan Mountcastle comes up and he pops this ball out to center. Verdugo makes the catch and the Birds are retired in order to end their half of the first. We saw Hunter Renfroe homer on opening day in Boston, and he absolutely hammers the 2-0 from Plutko into left, and no doubt about this one, it's out of here in a hurry to start the top of the second. It's Renfroe's 4th of the young season. It goes 419 feet to extend the Red Sox lead to 3-0. Later in the inning, Kike Hernandez is up and in a 3-2 count. He gets a hold of this one and it's deep into center. Mullins runs back to the track, jumps but can't bring it back, it's gone! The second home run of the inning for Boston, and they've jumped out to a 4-0 lead. You've got to imagine the Oriole fans have had the wind taken out of their sails with this start for a division rival as the Red Sox lead 4-0 heading to the bottom of the second. Hunter Renfroe's up again in the top of the 4th, already with a home run under his belt. Plutko gives him a 0-2 curveball that hangs, and guess what? He bangs it, depositing this pitch into the left field seats for his 2nd home run of the game. His 5th on the year, and this one goes 395 feet and puts the Red Sox up by 5 as well. Plutko's day ends shortly after as Dylan Tate replaces him on the mound later in the 4th, and he gets the final out of the inning as he gets Alex Verdugo to ground out to first as the Red Sox are all over the O's 5-0 so far. Freddie Galvis steps in to lead off the Oriole 4th, and he gives the first pitch he sees a ride into center. He gets over the glove of Verdugo, who thought he had it for a moment. Instead, it bounces to the wall and the Orioles have a base runner. It's Galvis' first double of the season. After a second Cedric Mullins strikeout, Ryan Mountcastle slaps this ball right up the middle for a single. Galvis makes a wide turn around third, but decides not to try and score, despite the ball getting away from Verdugo, so no runs just yet. That's a costly base running error. Trey Mancini gets the O's on the board as he lines a 3-1 to the left center gap, and Galvis scores from third easily. They want more though, as Mountcastle rounds third as well. The throw home is just a bit late as he slides in safely to give Mancini a 1-out, 2 RBI double to put the O's on the board. It's 5-2. Rio Ruiz follows and takes the 3-2 high out into left center. Mancini holds at second as the ball gets down, but he's only able to move up to third as a result, but Ruiz gets to second with a double of his own. Pat Valaika comes up and he hits a chopper to short. It pays off, however, as Mancini scores from third as Valaika is thrown out, so it's just a 2-run lead for Boston now, and the tying run is Anthony Santander. Santander takes the first pitch and lines it to left. It rolls all the way to the wall, and Santander replaces Ruiz at second. It's a 1-run ball game now, heading to the 5th, as the O's explode for 4 runs in their half of the 4th. Fast forwarding to the bottom of the 7th, still 5-4, with Anthony Santander at the plate again as the tying run. Santander demolishes the 1-2 to right field. He's begging the ball to stay fair. It listens as it stays inside the fair pole and goes over the wall for a solo shot. It's his second of the season. This one goes 406 feet, and we are all tied up at 5. This Oriole team has some fight in it in the home opener. Runners in the corners in the bottom of the 8th for Rio Ruiz. He's batting .333 with runners in scoring position early in the season, but Ruiz isn't able to do anything here as he pops out to short. So heading to the 9th, the game is still tied at 5. Top 9 in the Red Sox are trailing with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Paul Fry on the mound facing Alex Verdugo. Fry gets the biggest punch out of the game as he sits Verdugo down, swinging on the inside fastball. Fry's got the hot hand as he shuts the Red Sox offense down, and we're going to extra innings. Bottom 10, and Pedro Severino leads off 0-for-3 on the day. The first pitch to him gets away from Vasquez, and Mikel Franco moves over to third, so Severino's got an easier shot now. Severino hits the 1-1 back up the middle, and we have our first sighting of Oriole Magic in the home opener. The O's get their second win of the season in extra innings, 6-5, using a big 4-run fourth, a home run from player of the game Anthony Santander, and finally, the walk-off single from Pedro Severino. Let's move on now to Game 2 of the series, and it's a rainy day for baseball as the Dark Knight Matt Harvey gets the start for the O's, and they're looking to continue to keep momentum going after the walk-off win in Game 1 of the series. Xander Bogaerts begins the game with a flyout as he takes this ball to center. Austin Hayes runs under it and makes the grab. Alex Verdugo gets the first hit of Game 2, lacing the first pitch of the at-bat into the left center gap. He ends up with a double. It's his third on the year so far. JD Martinez is up next, and after 10 pitches, he loses the battle, swinging through the fastball out of the zone for Harvey's first strikeout of the game. There's 2 outs now for Rafael Devers. Devers strands Verdugo at second as he grounds out to Galvis at short, so Harvey and the O's hold the Red Sox scoreless to begin Game 2. Nathan Eovaldi gets a start for the Red Sox in this one, and he's looking for his first win on the year. Austin Hayes leads off for our Orioles, and he hits the first pitch hard to first, but Dahlbeck is there to scoop it up for the first out. Freddie Galvis is up next, and he's struggling to begin the year. His average is at 103. He hits the 0-1 to short, and Bogaerts is there. The routine throw to first gets away from Dahlbeck as he can't field it cleanly. Galvis gets to second as a result, so that's an error on Xander Bogaerts. Ryan Mountcastle steps in down 0-2. He chases the pitch outside for strike 3, and the Red Sox are able to complete the drop third strike play as they throw him out at first. Galvis has moved to third now, so there's 2 outs for Trey Mancini. Mancini chases the inside pitch and weakly hits a pop-up that Eovaldi is able to get under for the final out of the inning, and we're scoreless after 1. Anthony Santander steps in to lead off the bottom of the second. He's batting .333 against Eovaldi with a double, and he can add a home run to this stat sheet as he goes yard for the second game in a row. This one almost gets to Utah Street for a no-doubter home run. It's Santander's third of the season. This one goes 367 feet, and the O's are on the board. Top of the fourth now, and Alex Verdugo leads off, smashing this ball deep into right, and it gets behind Santander. Verdugo is now 2 for 2 with his 4th double on the season. JD Martinez follows, hitting the 0-1 back up the middle into center. Hayes charges and comes up firing. The throw is not in time as Verdugo slides in safely to tie the game, and Martinez has just his 2nd RBI of the year. Bottom 4, and guess who? It's Anthony Santander again, this time leading off the inning, hitting this ball away from the shift, and it gets past Cordero, rolling all the way to the wall. It's a leadoff double for Santander, his 5th of the season so far. O's aren't able to do anything with it though, as they strand him at second, so we're still tied at 1 as Francisco strikes out to end the inning. Top 5 in the Red Sox have runners on second and first with Kike Hernandez at the dish. Harvey gets what he wanted here as they turn the inning-ending double play 1-6-3 style. Harvey's night is done, and the runs have been hard to come by in this one, but still tied at 1. Top 6, a runner on first and 1 out for JD Martinez. This ground ball just stays fair down the first baseline, and it's serious trouble as it gets to the wall. Luckily, it takes a favorable bounce into the glove of Santander, and that does enough to hold the runner at third and give Martinez another double for the season. Rafael Devers digs in next, and he does everything right in this at-bat, decides to get on base. He grounds out to short for the 2nd out, but brings the go-ahead run home from third and moves Martinez to third as well. That's all they would get in the inning though, as it ends with a huge strikeout of Christian Vasquez by Keegan Aiken. Boston leads 2-1, heading to the Oriole half of the 6th. Going top 8, and after a walk for Alex Verdugo, JD Martinez gets set in the box. He rocks the very first pitch from Travis Lankin Sr. way out into right center, and gone over the wall for a 2-run blast. It's JD's first home run of the year, traveling 394 feet, and he extends the Red Sox lead to 4-1. It's the top of the 9th, and the Red Sox have the bases loaded with Xander Bogaerts at the plate, with the 0-for-4 night to his name. What a time for your first hit as Bogaerts singles into right to make it a 5-1 ball game. Alex Verdugo is up next with a hot 3-for-3 performance to this point. He hits the grounder to first, it's off Mancini's glove, but he's able to recover in time to finally retire Verdugo. The 6th run comes across on the 2nd out. JD Martinez steps in now, a triple shy of the cycle. He hits the 0-1 high and deep into left field. It bounces off the wall. Hayes comes over to get it and gets it into Galvis, but that's 2 more runs for Boston to make it 8-1. In the bottom half of the 9th, Anthony Santander grounds into a double play, but bad news for the Birds as Trey Mancini is injured on the slide into second. X-rays will be needed, but it doesn't look good for him. From there, the Red Sox would notch the final out to win 8-1. This was a close game, so the big 4-run 9th really put this game out of reach. Eovaldi gets his first win on the season, while Keegan Aiken picks up the loss and Adam Ottavino gets the save. After the game, X-rays would report that Trey Mancini has a broken forearm. This puts him on the shelf for the next 2 to 3 months, so he goes on the 60-day IL as a result. With the injury to Mancini, the O's turned to free agency to try and replace him. The O's placed Chris Shaw from AAA Norfolk on waivers to free up a roster spot, and then signed 38-year-old Edwin Encarnacion to a 1-year, $4 million contract. Encarnacion still hits very well for power off both righties and lefties, so the Birds are hoping he can give them some extra heft to their lineup while Mancini is injured. The final game of the series features both teams wearing uniforms from the 90s, as both teams are hoping to get the final win in the early season series after splitting the first 2 games. The O's start lefty Bruce Zimmerman, who's hoping to pick up win number 1 in his second start and bring down his 6.75 ERA in the process. Xander Bogaerts leads off in Game 3 of the series, and he flies out to center as Austin Hayes runs it down. Coming into this game, Boston's on-base plus slugging is through the roof at .820. That's good for 6th in the AL, so it's scary that there are even hotter offenses right now. Alex Verdugo is up next, and he's already picking up where he left off in Game 2, reaching base as he beats out the infield single on a slowly hit grounder to second. Verdugo then tries to steal second with JD Martinez at the plate, but a great throwdown nails him for out number 2, so now JD has to get it started all over again. Martinez gets it started alright as he hammers this 3-2 pitch, and everyone knows that's going over the left field wall for a solo shot that goes 408 feet. Oriole fans will be happy to see him leave after this series is over for sure. That's his second home run in the series and on the year as the Red Sox strike first in the very first inning. Zimmerman can't bounce back as he walks Rafael Devers, so the first inning continues as Hunter Renfroe steps in. They retire Renfroe as he grounds out to the new Oriole Edwin Encarnacion as he flips it to the covering Zimmerman to end the top of the first. The Red Sox start righty Garrett Richards, and he gets his first punch out on the first batter as Austin Hayes looks at the inside fastball for the first out. Freddie Galvis comes up next, and his early season struggles continue as he hits the 1-1 into left and flies out for the second out of the inning. The O's go down in order as Pat Valaika chases the slider way outside and can't hold his swing back for an uneventful half of the first inning for them. Bottom of the second with 1 out, and after Edwin Encarnacion strikes out in his first Oriole at bat, Anthony Santander draws a walk to bring up Chris Davis. Davis takes the first pitch and cracks it into right center into the gap, and it rolls to the wall. Santander is unable to score, but Chris Davis, who's not known for his speed, is able to leg out his first double of the season. Rio Ruiz follows Davis' aggression as he sends the first pitch of his at-bat way back in right field. It stays in the park and is caught for the second out, but both runners tag, and Santander scores from third, so we're all tied at 1. As Davis beats the incoming throw to third, sliding in safely. The O's aren't able to take the lead as Chance Sisco flies out to left, but we have a tie ball game again after 2 innings of play. Bottom 3, and DJ Stewart leads on. He chases the 1-2 out of the zone, but ends up working in his favor as he hits away from the shift and is able to reach safely for his first hit of the season. Top of the order is back up now, and it's Austin Hayes at the plate. He's ready for the 0-1 slider and creams this ball to left. The outfielders give chase but run out of room. It's a 2-run home run for Austin Hayes. His first of the year, and it goes 403 feet to put the O's on top 3-1, and the boys are hyped up for that one. To the bottom of the 5th we go, and Edwin Encarnacion is up for his third at-bat. He's 0 for 2 so far. Encarnacion gets a lot of this 3-2 pitch, and hammers it to deep left field. The runners all hold, and it hurts as the ball does get down off the bottom of the wall. 1 run scores, and Encarnacion is tagged out standing on second with Pat Valleca. He gets credit for an RBI, but more than 1 run should have come across to score there. The 5th ends with the Anthony Santander pop out to first, but the O's lead is now 3. It's 4-1, heading to the 6th. Sean Armstrong is on the mound for the O's now in the top of the 6th. There's 2 on with 2 outs for Bobby Dahlbeck at the plate. The very first pitch goes off Dahlbeck's bat, and it's another no-doubt home run! The 3-run blast goes 427 feet, and is Dahlbeck's first of the campaign. Armstrong's not pleased at all, and once again, the game is tied, this time at 4. How fitting that the final game of this weekend series goes to extra innings as Keegan Aiken takes over to begin the 10th for the O's. Christian Vazquez hits the 1-0 up the middle and off Aiken's leg. The runner on second moves to third as Cisco is able to take charge and get the out at first. Xander Bogaerts is up once again, and he's able to lift this ball deep in the right field. Santander runs under it to make the catch, and the throw home is cut off by Encarnacion as the Red Sox take the lead again on the sacrifice fly, 5-4. Bottom 10, and the O's get some more speed on the base pass as Cedric Mullins pinch runs on second with the extra inning rule in effect, as Austin Hayes digs in with a home run already in the game. The 0-1 gets away from Vazquez behind the plate and bounces towards third. Mullins takes off, and the throw doesn't beat him as a great head-first slide from Mullins gets him to third safely on the wild pitch. After Hayes strikes out, Freddie Galvis comes up. He sends the first pitch in the air to left. The catch is made, and the throw home forces Vazquez to come up to get it. Mullins slides in safely, and guess what? We're tied again, heading to the 11th. Roberto Osuna takes the mound to begin the 11th, and he's facing JD Martinez. He's behind the count 0-2, and Osuna leaves this pitch in a great spot. Martinez does not miss it. This ball is way out into left as Mullins gives chase, but he runs out of room. Martinez goes yard for the 3rd time in this series, and the 2nd time this game. This one goes 368 feet and puts the Red Sox up 7-5 in the 11th. That's how this game ends, as the Sox take 2 of 3 from the O's at Camden Yards. Matt Barnes gets the win, and Keegan Aiken is handed the loss, while the player of the game is JD Martinez. As we sim up to the Marlins series, there are some injuries to talk about. Kyle Stowers, on AAA Norfolk Tide, suffers a dislocated ankle. He'll be put on the 60-day IL, and he's going to miss over 6 months. A big injury from ace of the Orioles staff, John Means. It's a torn rotator cuff, and he's going to be out over 6 months as well, and placed on the 60-day IL. There's going to have to be a shakeup of the O's starting rotation as a result. We'll pick up next time going down to Florida to face the Marlins, but before I go, I did ask you all to submit some viewer questions last time, and I've got 2 here to answer in our first ever viewer question segment. The first question comes from Samu, and he asks, who is your favorite sports broadcaster of all time, and who inspires you the most? So, my favorite sportscaster of all time is Vin Scully, just because I like the, what's the word I'm looking for? I like his mastery of the English language. He has so many words that he can use to describe things, and that's for that. The person who inspires me the most is actually Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson is one of the reasons why I got into commentary to begin with. I love his energy. If you've seen any of his March Madness calls, or if you played like, you know, the old Madden game that he was in, you know what I'm talking about. His energy is off the charts, and I absolutely love it. And I try to bring that kind of energy to my calls as well whenever I'm doing full commentary for any of the series I've done before. The second question comes from Ricardo, and his question is, what got you into baseball? So what got me into baseball really was my dad. He had me playing baseball from a very young age. Started playing in t-ball level, I was a little kid, and then as I got older, I realized that you don't have to be the biggest, fastest, or strongest kid to really excel at this game. Baseball is a very much mental game as it is a physical one. And for me, not being a very big kid, I'm a small person. So for me, that's one thing that got me into baseball, into the sport, was my dad. So yeah. And alright, you guys, if you would like to have your question featured in the next video, be sure to leave it down below in the comments, and I will answer it in the next video, and we'll keep this going. I really like this. It was very, very fun for me to do. I like having you guys ask me questions, and I can peel the curtain back a little bit, so to speak, get you guys to know me a little bit more. And yeah, I'm very excited for all the questions you guys have for me going forward, and everything else regarding the Orioles franchise. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to watch more videos here on the channel. I will see you all next time. You know what to do. Keep on shining and keep on grinding. I will see you all in the next one.